This is our Friday morning flow for yoga. You'll need just a set of blocks for today. You can always use a set of books if you want, or a pillow in lieu of those blocks. We're going to get started today in a child's pose. Drawing your arms out long in front, reaching your hips towards your heels, and just resting your forehead gently on the floor. Reaching your arms out long. Holding here and breathing. Maybe setting an intention for class today. Focusing here on your breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. On your inhale, think about reaching your fingertips closer to the top of your mat. On your exhale, think about sinking your hips towards your heels. Stretching long in opposite directions. Gently rock your forehead from side to side. Come back to the left side of your mat. You can stay here. You can release your left hand and bind it around towards your right hip, pressing your right shoulder closer towards the floor. Gently reach your left hand to meet the right. Walk your hands through center. This time over to the right side of your mat. Releasing your forehead back onto the floor if it was lifted. You're welcome to keep your right hand planted or bind it around towards your left hip. Gently pulling that left shoulder closer towards the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm long. Come back through center. Inhale, reach your right arm high towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread it underneath your left side body, gently releasing your right cheek or ear towards the floor. You can also always place it onto a block. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, release your right hand down. Inhale, reach your left arm high, gaze up, look up. Exhale, thread your left arm under and through the right side body. Just releasing your left cheek or your left ear onto the floor. Center, reach your arm high. Release it down to meet the right. You can bump your hips side to side here. You can bring your palms to touch, bringing your thumbs towards the nape of your neck for a deeper tricep stretch. Gently release your arms back out long. Lift your palms, lift your forearms, lift your elbows, pressing your finger pads in towards the floor. Release your palms back down the floor. Inhale, rise up. We're going to come and find a tabletop position. You can place your hands on those blocks if you'd like, and just bump the hips side to side. Moving here in organic movement. Gently come back to center. Walk your fingertips towards the outer edge of the mat, and then just gently rock your shoulders from side to side. Come back through center, bring your fingertips towards the top of your mat, tuck your toes, press your hips towards your heels. Inhale, come back through center, stacking your wrists over your shoulders over your hips. Bring those blocks towards your wrist. From here, inhale, lengthen your right leg long, strong point through your right toes. Exhale, round your spine, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rainbow that right leg up and over the left side, gently looking over your left shoulder. From here, release your right knee down to the outside of your left knee. Holding here and breathing with your wrist directly under your shoulders. Hammock your belly, lift your gaze. Deep inhale. Exhale, round your spine, press the earth away. Eagle legs with cat and cow. One more time through each. Inhale, cat. Gaze up, look up, hammock your belly down. Exhale, press the earth away. Inhale, come back through center. Walk your right hand behind your left and walk your left hand over. So you're crisscrossing your arms, and then press your hips back. Feel that stretch. Inhale, come back through center. Unbind your hands. Left hand on your left shoulder, right hand on your right. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, release your right knee into your right hip. Bumping your hips side to side. Let's repeat that same thing on the other side. Inhale, kick your left leg straight back. Strong point through your left toes. Exhale, round your spine, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rainbow that left leg up and over to the outer right hip. Maybe looking over your right shoulder, maybe seeing your toes. Gently release your left knee down to the outside of your right ankle. Untuck your left toes. Walk your right hand behind the left. Walk your left hand over to the right. From here, gaze up, look up. Exhale, press the earth away. Binded arms, binded leg, cat and cow. One more time through each side. Hammock your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, press the earth away. Hold your arms binded, sink your hips towards your heels. You center, unbind your hands. Unbind your left leg, kick it straight back. Release your left knee down under your hip. Press your hips side to side. From here, walk your hands up, palm print forward. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, coming to our first downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Lifting and lowering, bending and extending one knee at a time. From here, gently walk your feet towards the back of your wrist, keeping a bend in the knees, forward fold, half lift hands to shins or to blocks, crown of your head pointing to the top of your mat. Come back to that forward fold. Let your neck hang nice and loose. Release your right hand to the floor, reach your left arm up. Option, bend into that right knee or hold it straight. Switching sides, release your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Maybe gaze up, look up. Bend in that left knee or you can hold it straight. Gently release your right hand down, pedal out your heels. All right, we're gonna add some fun movement here before we come into our flow. Come into a ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows. Really let your neck hang nice and loose here. Maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no. You can sway side to side with a soft bend in both of your knees. Sway back through center. From here, sway to the right all the way up and over. Keep the bind of your elbows. Coming to top all the way over the left side, just like a big circle. Coming back to that ragdoll, sway side to side. Sway back through center, coming up to the left side this time. Keep that bind in the elbows, coming through center, all the way over down to the right. Come back to that forward fold, release your hands, pedal out your heels. Moving here with control, gently pedaling those heels, lifting and lowering one hip, maybe one heel. Gently lower both your heels, scratch your hips, half lift, hands to shins. Back to that forward fold with a long spine, roll all the way up. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders up and back, sink your hips down, reach your arms forward, pulse it for 3. That's 2. And 1, sweep your right arm back. Bring it forward, sweep your left arm back. And forward, right side. And left side. Come back through center, bring your hands to heart center, and then rotate looking over your right shoulder. Maybe making contact with your left elbow and your right knee. From here, ground into your right foot, step your left leg back. Coming into a high lunge twist, option to open your wings, reaching your left fingertips down towards the outer right ankle, right fingertips towards the ceiling. Holding here and breathing. Rise both arms up, pivot your left toes. Deep bend that front right knee, find your warrior 1. From here, straighten that right leg. Bring your arms by your side. Hinge forward, pinkies in, thumbs out. Coming into your pyramid. So left toes are turned to 45, slowing that left heel down, right toes are forward. You can place your hands on the floor or on blocks, framing your right foot. Draw that right hip back. Left hip presses forward. Place your left hand on the inside of that right foot on the floor on a block. Reach your right arm high. Gaze up. Look up. Back to your warrior one. Bend into that right knee. Open up, warrior two. Seal that left foot down to the floor. Arms are up to a T. Lift and lower one time. Hold it, bend that right knee. Come into extended side. Option to hover that right arm. You can lower that right elbow. Reach it down towards the floor. Left bicep towards your left ear. Reach your left arm up. Straighten that right leg. Reach your arm down. Find your triangle. Holding here and breathing. Reverse your triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back. Sweep your right arm up. Bend into that right knee. Pivot your left toes. Cartwheel down. Find your low lunge. Holding here for a breath. Place your hands on the floor, framing that right foot. Kick your right leg back. Three-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Stack your hip. Circle out your right ankle. Square out your hip. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Kick it back. Right knee to right elbow. Kick it back. Exhale, step your right foot in between your palms, coming into low lunge. Option to lower that left knee or hold it lifted. Sweep your right arm high. Circle out your right wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, thread your right arm under and through towards your left hip. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, thread it through. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Reach the right arm high. Plant your right hand down. Step your right foot back. Come into your flow. Option to keep that right leg lifted. Lower it down. Lower your knees. Coming to your chaturanga all the way down. Full cobra. Tabletop or down dog. Pedal it out. Everyone meet in down dog. We're going to repeat that exact same thing on the left side. The two other times we're going to add on to it. Keep a bend in the knees. Walk your feet behind your wrists. Coming into a forward fold. Half lift hands to shins or blocks. Back to that forward fold. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Reach your arms high. Sink your hips low. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. Hold it low to the left arm back. And forward. Right arm. And forward. Hips are low. Chest lifted. Left side. And right. Both arms forward. Bring your hands to heart center. Rotate your upper body. Try to bring that right elbow to your left knee. Hands at heart center. Set the right foot back. High lunge with twist. Option to open your wings. Left arm up. Right arm down. Draw both arms up. Seal your right foot. Keep a bend out front left knee. Find your warrior one. Straighten out left leg. Find your pyramid. Bring your hands by your hips, pinkies and thumbs out. With a long spine, hinge forward. Option to place your hands on blocks or on the floor. Pulling that left hip back, pressing that right hip forward, keeping the hips square. You can shorten your distance or lengthen your distance. Keeping a right hand on the floor on a block inside your left foot, so your left arm high. Revolve pyramid. Holding here and breathing. Come back up. Find your warrior one. Pivot your right toes. Open up warrior two. Find your big star. Lift and lower one time. Deep bend that left knee. Extended side. Option to hover that left arm forward or over the left leg. You can also place it on the left leg. You can reach it down towards the floor, which we'll soon get into. Reach those right fingertips long. Inhale, straighten that left leg, reach your right arm up, left arm down. Find your triangle. Holding and breathing. Inhale, rise up, reverse your triangle. Tuck your right hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you. Go down. Framing your left foot. Step your left leg back. Three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hip. Circle out your ankle, circle out your toes, wiggle them out. Kick your left leg straight back. Exhale, round your spine, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Crunch it in. Inhale, kick it straight back. Exhale, step your left foot between your palms. Option to lower that right knee. Inhale, step your left arm high. Circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulder. Forwards and backwards. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale, thread it under and through the right side body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Release your left hand on the outside of your left foot. Kick your left leg back. Keep that left leg lifted. Lower it down. Option to lower your knees, finding your chaturanga. Inhale, full cobra. Come through tabletop or right into down dog. Pedal it out. Find your breath. All right. Pedaling out those heels, biceps, frame your ears, gazes towards tops of your thighs. Have a deep bend in your knees. Step or hop your feet behind your hands. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins. Forward fold. Inhale, this time with the long spine, hands on your hips. Back remains flat, roll all the way up. When you get to the top, shoulders down and back, sink your hips. Sweep your arms forward, pulse it for 3, 2, try to get lower each time, hold it low. Sweep the right arm back, and forward, left side, and forward. One more time, each side. Hold the arms forward, bring your hands to heart center. Rotate your upper body. Connect your left elbow to your right knee. Keeping your hands at heart center. Step your left leg back. High lunge with a twist. Seal your left toe, rise up. Find your warrior one. Deepen right knee. Straighten that right leg. With your arms overhead this time, pull that right hip back, left hip forward, and hinge forward. Pressing those hips back. Blocks. You guys remember she had the cone around her head? She finds a way to get out of it. All right, holding here in that pyramid pose. Sorry about that. Place your left hand on the inside of your right foot on the floor on a block, so your right arm high. Revolved pyramid. Stay here or play if you want to play. Bend into your right knee. Lift your left foot. Coming into revolved half moon. Left arm stays down, right arm stays high. You can also bind your right hand. If you're in revolved pyramid, stay there. If you're revolved half moon, bend into your right knee. Gently lower your left foot. Come back to revolved pyramid. Inhale, bend into that right knee. Find your warrior one. Pivot your left toes parallel to the top of your mat. Coming into warrior two. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Find that warrior two. Extended side. Maybe try hovering that right arm this time. Straighten that right leg. Left arm up, right arm down. Right hand can be on the floor or on a block. Holding here and breathing. Try to rotate your left shoulder back. Challenge your balance. You can gaze up. You can also gaze down towards your right toes. Stay here if you want to find half moon. Bend into that right knee. Place your right hand on the floor on a block. Sweep your left arm and left leg up. Flex through your left foot. You can gaze down, forward, or up. If you're in triangle, stay there. If you're in half moon, bend into that right knee. Gently plant your left foot parallel, perpendicular to the mat. Hold it here. Everyone's in triangle. We're going to pulse it for 3. That's 2. And 1. Hold it low. Reverse your triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back. Sweep your right arm high. Option to flex your right toes. Find your archer. Hold it for the inhale. On your exhale, bend into that right knee. Pivot your left toes. Framing your right foot. Kick your right leg back. 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Stuck your hip. Square out your hips. Kick that right leg straight back. Exhale. Right knee to left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. Right knee to nose. Round your spine. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Option to keep that left leg lifted or lower down. We're going to find lizard here. You can use blocks. You can come up as high, bring your chest lifted. Likewise, you can bring your arms, your forearms down to the floor or down the blocks. Rocking onto that outer knife edge of your right foot. So your right toes are turned to about 2 o'clock. You can rock your hips side to side. Then plant your hands underneath your shoulders on the floor. Tuck your left toe. Kick the right leg up and back. Come into your flow. Option to lower that right leg or keep it lifted. Coming into your chaturanga. Press up, full cobra. Hold it here for the stretch. Come through tabletop or directly to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. All right. Let's repeat that with those add-ons if you would like. She always has to have the last word. Continuing to pedal it out in down dog. Breathing here. Gaze towards the tops of your thighs. From here with a bend in both of your knees, step or hop your feet to your hands. Coming into a forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins, crown of your head pointing to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. With a long spine, hands on your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Think the crown of your head pointing to the top of your mat, maybe beyond. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders up and back. Sink your hips low, arms forward, pulse it for 3, 2. Hold the hips low, so left arm back. And forward, right side. Option to bring your gaze with the arm or keep it straight, left side. One more time with the right. Both arms forward. Bring your hands to heart center. Elbows tracking out wide. Rotate your upper body. Stay here. You can also bring your upper body down towards the floor, maybe making connection with your right elbow and your left knee. Step your right leg back. High lunge with a twist. You can grow your wings. Seal your right foot. Keep a bend that left knee. Rise up. Warrior 1, right toes or turn it 45 degrees. Straighten that left leg. With the arms up high, press your left hip back, right hip forward. Finding your pyramid as you hinge forward. You can shorten that distance of your feet. You can widen that distance, placing your hands on blocks or on the floor, framing your left foot. Maybe bringing your forehead towards your knee. With your right hand on the inside of your left foot on the floor on blocks of your left arm high. Revolve pyramid. Stay here if you want to find revolved half moon. Bend into that left knee. Walk your right hand forward. Lift your right leg. Flex the right foot. Keep the hips square. If you're in revolved pyramid, stay there. If you're in revolved half moon, bend into that left knee. Gently lower that right foot, that 45 degree. Coming back to revolved pyramid. Bend into that left knee. Rise up. Find your warrior 1. Pivot your right toes parallel to the back of your mat. Find your warrior two. Deep bend that left knee. Inhale, lengthen. One big star. Exhale, bend. Extended side. Maybe try something different. You can also bind that left hand. Hold it here for the exhale. Inhale, lengthen your left leg. Left arm down, right arm up towards the ceiling. Finding your triangle. Holding here and breathing. Rotate that right shoulder open. Maybe stacking over the left, maybe rotate it further back. If you want to try half moon, grab that block, bend into that left knee. Walk that left hand forward, lift your right leg. Flex that right foot. If you're in triangle, stay there. If you're in half moon, bend into that left leg. Gently plant that right foot. We're going to pulse it for 3. That's 2. And 1. Hold it low. Reverse your triangle. Tuck your right hand behind your back. Left arm overhead. Option to flex your left toes. Squeeze your left quad. Bend into your left knee. Pivot your right toes. Framing your left foot. Coming into your low lunge. Kick your left leg straight back. Bend your left knee. Stack your hip. Scratch your hip. Kick your left leg straight back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Kick it back. Left knee to left nose. Kick it back. Exhale, left knee to your right elbow. Oop, mix it up. Kick it straight back. That's okay. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand, finding your lizard lunge. Option to keep that right knee lifted or lower your right knee down. Many options here. You can come down to your forearms or to block. You can tuck and hover that right knee. You can also stay more upright. Holding here in your lizard pose. Maybe moving the hips side to side. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. Rolling onto that outer knife edge of your left foot. Plant your hands under your shoulders, tuck your right toes. Step your left leg up and back. From here, lower down. Find your chaturanga. Full cobra. Come through tabletop or directly downward facing dog, pedal it out. All right, let's run through one more time. We'll decrease the pulses here. Coming back to that down dog. Bend the knees, step or hop. Your feet directly behind your wrist, forward fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Come back to that forward fold. Roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, shoulders down and back. Sink your hips, your arm forward, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. With the right arm back. 1 time each side and forward. Left side. And forward, bring your hands to heart center. Rotate over that right hip. Try to draw that left elbow to your right knee. Step your left foot back. Find your low lunge with a twist. Holding here and breathing. Seal that left heel. Left toes turn to 45. Bend that right knee, arms overhead. Finding your warrior 1. Straighten that right leg. Hinge forward, pull that right hip back as you hinge. Bringing your hands to frame your right foot on the floor or on the block. Maybe bringing your nose toward your knee. You can always have a bend in that right knee. Place your left hand on the inside of your right foot, so your right arm high. Revolve pyramid. Stay here or find your revolved half moon. Your revolved half moon. Bend into that right knee, gently plant your left leg. Come back to your revolved pyramid. Rise up. Find your warrior 1. Bend in that right knee, arms overhead. Pivot your left toes, open up, warrior two, one big star, lift and low, extended side. Straighten your right leg, find your triangle, rotate left shoulder back. Stay here if you want to find half moon. Walk that right hand forward, left arm, left leg lifted. Bend into that right knee if you're in half moon, gently lower down. Come back to your triangle. We're going to pulse it one time. Hold it low, reverse your triangle. Maybe flex your right toes. Cartwheel down, bend into that right knee, pivot your left toes. Step your right foot back, three-legged dog. From here, right knee to left elbow, kick it back. Right knee to nose, kick it back. Right knee towards right wrist and lower your right knee, coming into pigeon. Tuck your left toes, draw that left leg a little bit further back. You can place your hands on blocks. You're welcome to walk yourself up. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. You can bring your forearms or your hands down towards the floor or the blocks. Maybe rolling your hips side to side. Finding what feels good to you today on this side in pigeon pose. There you are, hold it for 2 more breaths. And then walk your hands under your shoulders. Lift your left heel in towards your glute. Stay here, or you can sweep your left arm back, reaching for your left toes, reaching for your pant leg. You have a bind, gently release your left hand, release your left toes. Wrists under your shoulders, tuck your left toe, sweep your right leg up and back. Three-legged dog, down dog, coming into your chaturanga. Elbows stay tucked in. Finding your downward facing dog, pedal it out. Holding here and breathing. We got one more time through on the left side. With a bend in both of your knees, step or hop. Your toes directly behind your wrist, coming into a forward fold. Half left, hands to shins. Forward fold. With a soft bend, your knees roll all the way up. Roll the shoulders up and back when you get to the top. Sink your hips with your arms forward. Pulse it for 3. That's 2. Hold it low, left arm. Sweep it forward, right side. Sweep it forward. Bring your hands to heart center. Hold it for a breath. Twist looking over your left hip. Maybe drawing your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Step your right foot back. Find your low lunge with a twist. Seal your right foot. Rise up, bend that left knee. Warrior 1. Right toes pivot to 45. Straighten that left leg. Bump that left hip back, right hip forward. Coming into your pyramid. You can have a bend that left knee or straight. Gently folding forward. Hands frame your left foot on the floor or on blocks. Maybe bringing your nose toward your knee. You need to pull that left hip back. Place your right hand on the inside of your left foot on the floor on the blocks of your left arm high. Revolve pyramid. Stay here. If you want to find revolved half moon, bend into that left knee. Walk your right hand forward, lift your right leg. You're in revolve pyramid, stay there. A revolved half moon, bend into that left knee. Gently plant your right foot, coming back into revolve pyramid. Bend into that left knee, rise up, find your warrior 1. Pivot your right toes, open up warrior 2. Lift and lower one time. Nice stretch for that hip. Bend into that left knee. Find your extended side. Holding here and breathing. If you can bind your left hand. Maybe bind your right hand. Trying something different here. Have fun with it. Straighten that left leg. Left arm down towards the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling. Actively pull that right shoulder up and back. You can gaze up to challenge your balance, or keep your gaze forward or down to the floor. Stay here in your triangle. If you want to find half moon, bend into that left knee, walk your left hand forward, sweep your right leg, right arm up towards the ceiling, flex that right foot. If you're in half moon, gently bend into that left knee. As you slowly lower that right foot, coming back into your triangle. One pulse, lift and lower. Reverse your triangle. Tuck your right hand behind your back, left arm overhead. Maybe flex your left toes. Gently lower your toes. Bend into that left knee, cartwheel down. Find your runner's lunge. Sweep your left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back. Last time, left knee to right wrist. Finding your pigeon. You can draw that right foot back. You can untuck those right toes. You can walk your hands closer towards your hips. You can also fold forward. Coming into any variation of pigeon here. If you'd like, thread the needle on this side. You can sweep your right arm high, draw it under and through the left side body. Maybe hovering that right ear, maybe bringing it on a block or on the floor. Holding here and breathing, a few more breaths. And then walk your hands under your shoulders. Draw your right heel in towards your right glute. Maybe reach your right hand towards your toes, towards your heel. Maybe making that connection. Maybe just reaching, feeling that stretch in your left quad. Gently release your bind or your reach. Draw your right hand to your right shoulder. Tuck your right toes. Sweep your left leg up and back. Gently lower your left foot. Pedal it out. Holding here and breathing. From here, rock forward. Stack your shoulders over your hips, holding here in plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, that's 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Lower down, slow and controlled. Option to lower your knees, elbows tucked in. When you get all the way down, untuck your toes, press up, mini cobra, release down. One more mini cobra, press up, maybe lift your palms, maybe lift your toes, lower your toes, lower your palms, lower your chin down, keeping your left hand boxed out, extend your right arm long, relax that right leg. I like to wiggle out that right thigh, all the way down to my toes. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Maybe pivot onto your right hip. Maybe bend your left knee, tapping that foot in front or behind your right hip. Coming into broken wing. Inhale, come back through center. Allow both hips to come on the floor. Walk your right hand to your right shoulder, press up, mini cobra. Release back down. Extend your left arm out long directly from your left shoulder, keeping your right hand boxed out. Wiggle out that left leg. Come back to center, everything still. Lift that right leg high, deep inhale. Come onto that left hip. Maybe bend that right knee, draw it behind or in front of your left hip. Just resting your left cheek or ear on the floor. You rock back onto your tummy. Both hips, both shoulders. Walk your left hand to your left shoulder, press up, mini cobra. Release back down. Walk your hands to your lowest rib cage. Press up, full cobra. Gaze forward. Relax your shoulders down and back from your ears. Look over your left shoulder. Maybe you see your left heel. Come back through center. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Back through center. Option is stay here. If you want to hover your shins into upward facing dog. Gently lower your thighs, they were lifted. Press your knees wide, sink your hips towards your heels. Coming back to where we started in child's pose. Just resting your forehead onto the floor. Maybe rotating your forehead from side to side. Slow it down a little bit. Gently walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Release your right hand to your right knee. Press into that right hand as you gently draw your left shoulder closer towards the floor. Continue to draw that left shoulder to the floor. Release your right hand, bind it around towards your left hip. Your right hand back to meet the left. Walk your hands through center, over to the left side of your mat. If you lifted your forehead, just gently place it back down to the floor. Release your left hand to your left knee. Gently press into that left hand, lifting your left shoulder and drawing your right shoulder closer towards the floor. You need to draw your right shoulder towards the floor as you release your left hand. Bind it around towards your right hip. Use your left hand to meet the right. Come back through center. Press forward, find your tabletop. Tuck your toes, hand under your belly, lift your gaze. Coming into cow. On your exhale, untuck your toes, press the earth away. Inhale, tuck your toes, lift your gaze, draw your elbow creases to the top of your mat. Exhale, press everything away, draw space between your shoulders. Come back through center, neutral spine, and just patter out your toes, maybe gently tapping your toes with the top shoelace portion of each foot. And then gently lower your left or right hip towards the floor. Coming into a comfortable seat, grabbing one block. Placing that block between your palms. We're going to lower down, slow and controlled for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Lower back, middle back, shoulders, neck, everything release down. Tap that block overhead with your thumbs. Bring that block back over your shoulders. Walk your heels in closer towards your glutes. With that block, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Set that block on any setting, low, medium, or high. The higher the block, the more intensity. And then gently lower your hips to that block. Allow your hips to fall into the block, in towards your mat. Gently release one foot at a time up towards the ceiling. Reach your fingers towards your toes. Point, flex, circle out your wrists and your ankles. Continuing to allow your lower back to press into that block. Gently lower your feet. Lower your palms, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Set that block off to the side. Draw your knees in towards your shoulders. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Continuing to grab the back side of your thighs, or you can grab the outer knife edge of each foot, coming into happy baby. Gently rolling side to side. With your right knee into your right shoulder, extend your left leg long. Flex your left foot to draw your left calf closer towards the floor. I was thinking calf and closer. Allow your right heel to come in towards your right glute, binding your hand underneath your right shin. Point, flex, circle out your right ankle. With your left hand, gently guide your right knee to the center and then over to the left side of your body. Supine twist. You can gaze up or over to the left side. Come back through center. Right knee stays in towards your right shoulder. Draw a few circles with your right hip. And then bending both knees. And then drawing the soles of the feet to the ceiling, coming back to your happy baby. Maybe just rocking side to side. You can grab the outer knife edge or the back side of your thigh. Come back through center. Release your right leg long, flexing your right foot to allow your right calf to come closest to the floor. Allow your left heel to come in towards your left hip, binding your hands just beneath your left knee. Point, flex, circle out your left ankle, wiggle your toes. When removing pose on the left side. With your right hand, gently guide your right knee over to the right side of your body. Maybe that left knee taps the floor, maybe on a block, maybe hovering. Supine twist on the left side. You can look over your left shoulder. Gently come back to center. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll yourself 2 times along your spine. In a seated position, grab a block. Place it on a low or medium setting, long ways with your mat. And then slowly roll back. So you want that block along your spine and allow your neck to just taper off at the top end. Extend your legs out long, heels touch, toes fall open, arms by your side. Supported fish pose in Shavasana. Your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bringing sensation back into your body. Pop yourself up on your elbows, gently press yourself up. Set that block off to the side. Draw your legs around, coming into your comfortable seated position. We rock your hips side to side. Make sure both sit bones are pressed in towards the floor. Sweep both arms up high. Exhale, cactus. Lift your gaze. Spread your fingertips wide. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, release your right hand to your left knee, gently looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left hand to right knee, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Fantastic work this morning, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you each and every day. I wish you all a wonderful weekend ahead. Namaste. Thank you all.